Hello everyone, welcome to History Forge. My name is Taylor Hamlin. I'm going to be reviewing week 23 of my project-based learning implementation in my classroom. You can already see it on the screen here. So on Monday, January 28th, I've been sharing this stuff, the history project and project design stuff with my students. This is just a calendar. I'll open it up and show you. And just, as this is opening, remember that all this stuff is available online. If you want to see any of this stuff, any of these links or descriptions or resources, feel free to just check out the video description and you should be able to see that. So this is all the projects we have so far. You can see that I have students that are, my students are in blue, and then we have another teacher in my school who's doing projects too, and his are in orange. So this is pretty common layout. Exhibits are always the most popular, so we always have a lot of exhibits. Performances are always the least popular, so we always have a few of those. Documentaries is also not as popular as others, but we actually have more this year than we normally do, so that's kind of good to see. But yeah, just kind of see what the kids like to do and build, so we have all that stuff. A lot of different topics too, so feel free to pause the video if you want to check out all the different projects that we're doing. So again, I show that to kids each week. We also show them this thing, the project design list. So if you're a teacher that watches these, this has all my information as far as designing projects goes. I will put the video description into it later. So feel free to check that stuff out. Going down what we actually did. So students reviewed their thesis to develop their section writing. So students actually had to write a thesis and develop it. We talked a little bit about that last week, and they just overall worked on it. I actually had the kids also read an immigration article. So we were talking about our unit. We were doing migration and immigration. So the students had to work on their beliefs of what they think modern day immigration should be all about. Like, what should the government be doing? What could they do, or what should they believe? And we give it a historical context too. So we talk about early immigration, like the first Germans and Irish that were coming in the early 1800s. And then we talk more about some of the Chinese groups that were coming in the 1850s during the California Gold Rush. We talk about all the other European groups, and we try to connect it to everything. So we did that. We did more reading, and also had a video lecture here about the Gold Rush. The kids watched that too. Moving on down to Tuesday, the students had to do a video description of skill. We actually didn't get to this. I should actually edit that. Did not do. A lot of times we do these projects, and as we get closer to the due date, we have less time in class each week, and we try to make it up after the projects are done in March. And then half of March, all of April, all of May, we really spend a lot of time focusing on the actual historical context and actual government stuff in our class. So we didn't do that, but we did talk more about immigration. The kids read more articles about it. I had two articles, one about Chinese immigration, and the other one was about Irish immigration. So kids learned about that. I'll do the same thing this week. I'll actually have two more articles the students have to read. And then we're actually going to start our discussion next week. Oops. So going into Wednesday, students had to form an opinion about immigration. I messed this up. I should have done vocabulary instead, and we actually did. So the students had to do 20 minutes of vocab. And we do that each week until they take their test, and they'll take their test here pretty soon. But we did 20 minutes of vocabulary practice. I use Quizlet if anybody's curious. I can put those videos. I can put that description too, or I can put the links in the video description if you want to see what I do for Quizlet. We did more immigration stuff, so we really focused on the immigration component that day. Then Thursday was just a project work day. I really do believe in giving the students time to work on their projects in class. So the students got the entire day that day to really hammer out their projects. And then finally Friday, we had this as a migration immigration discussion. Again, we didn't really get to this. The students worked on Martin Luther King ideas instead. So what I basically did was, the week before this was Martin Luther King Day, and I really wanted the kids to focus on that. So we did a little Martin Luther King. I showed them the I Have a Dream speech. They actually watched the video and read the speech, and I told them to link it to immigration. So I wanted them to focus on that idea. And then, we just showed me second designs and writings. Most of the students got it in, probably 60% got it turned in. And then it's a lot of state after school, and I have students been coming in today just re-showing me things, trying to get stuff done. So that was pretty quick this week. Pretty basic stuff, a lot of repetitiveness from last week. If you're curious about any of these things, please let me know. I'll put as many of the links as possible down in the video description to help out. But yeah, this is kind of getting down to, I think we're on like week 5 of like having like all these things due. So a lot of the students are getting a little jittery and nervous, and I even have students here right now waiting for me to show me stuff. So I'm gonna hop off here. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're a teacher that watches these things, feel free to check out the social media. That's in the video description. That's it for me. Take care. Bye.